Welcome to Yoga for Cancer. I'm Rebecca, and for today's class, we will need blocks, if you have them, or something that you can use for support, and a yoga strap or belt, or something that will function like that. We're starting lying down, so please go ahead and make your way onto your mat. Lying on your back. I'm going to scoot back here so that you can see me, okay? And have your strap nearby. You won't need your blocks just yet, but in a moment or two. And as you make your way on to your back, take a moment to be comfortable. If you'd like to bend your knees or even have a pillow under your knees, that's perfectly fine. Allow your arms to come down at your sides or bend your elbows and rest your hands on your belly or rib cage, whatever feels comfortable. And take a moment to make the transition from regular life to life on the mat. Taking a moment to let go of the day's activities, those that have happened and those that are still ahead, so that you can be really present with your breath and your body in this place and time. So take a moment to feel the length of your spine along the floor or wherever you're lying down. Softening with each exhale, letting go a little bit more. Dropping deeply into the floor, into the supports beneath you. This is our facsimile of the earth. So imagine, if you like the beach, that you're lying on the sand or on a towel on the sand if you prefer. If you don't like the beach, maybe you'd like to lie in a meadow or, I don't know, somewhere else that you can find contact with the earth. Imagine as you exhale that you're dropping roots from all along the length of your spine, dropping them down into the earth. Softening, feeling the support beneath you. Letting go. Let your head be heavy. Your shoulders drop down towards the ground. Let your arms be heavy. Your rib cage. Feel your shoulders tucked underneath so they can really drop down. Allow your middle back to soften and release. Allow your lower back to soften and drop down. Feel the connection of your hips, your sacrum, to the ground. Maybe your legs are extended, or maybe your feet are on the ground. Making that connection from crown to the tips of your toes. Begin to notice your breath. As you inhale, feel the body rising away from the ground. The ground is a constant. It's steady for the moment, at least. And the inhale takes you up and away from the ground. With each inhale, imagine that you are a flower bed. And each breath allows flowers to sprout and reach towards the sun. Each exhale, like rain dropping in to nourish the earth. Each inhale, opening, growing, reaching. Let's take 10 breaths right here. You are a flower bed. As your mind wanders, just notice it and lovingly return your attention to the breath. The sensation of earth beneath you, sky above you. And after your next exhale, release control of the breath, release the visualization. You can blink your eyes open if you like. Bend your knees if they're not already, and bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Knees and hips about hip distance apart. Knees and feet about hip distance apart. Bring your arms down at your sides. Let's inhale and reach opposite arm and leg. So we're just sliding the leg. The arm is reaching up and over. And if coming overhead is uncomfortable or difficult for you, then just come out to the side. You can use a goddess arm. Let me show you the other way. You can just reach out in whatever way feels comfortable. Next, exhale, slide the foot back in, lower the arm. And we'll go to the other side. Inhale, opposite arm and leg. Flex your foot, reach your heel and your fingertips in opposite directions. Exhale, come back to your starting position. Inhale, try to slide out and take the whole inhale to get there. You can pause for a breath if you like. And then on an exhale, slide back to your starting position. Take the whole exhale. Take your time moving from side to side. You can add a breath if you'd like, or inhale, reach, and exhale, draw back in. Just a few more, beginning to move through the joints. And this or the next time that you come back to the starting position, pause here. And when you're ready, if you'd like, draw your knees in and rock a little bit from side to side, releasing the low back. And bringing your feet back down, scooch over just a little. I'm going to take my strap, and I'll take the middle section, so I have two ends. I'm going to bend one leg and see if I can lasso my foot. And then holding on to one hand with each end of the strap, I'm going to press my leg out to straight. Now that may be here, or it may be a little more overhead or over your hips. I like to wrap the strap around my hand. That is more comfortable on my fingers. But come to a place where you can extend your leg. If your strap isn't long enough, then just do the best that you can and get a longer strap next time. Pressing out, really gently flex your foot, press through your heel, engage, lifting your kneecap to engage your thigh muscle. That helps the other side, the back side of your leg, your hamstrings, to release and let go. Stay here for another breath. And then on your next exhale, bend your knee and draw your knee towards your shoulder. Stay here, or on your next inhale, see if you can press up and find length. Exhale, bend your knee. Don't drop your foot down. Keep your foot up, just bend the knee. Inhale, press and straighten. Exhale, bend. Now please use the strap to modulate this movement so that it works in your body. Try to rest your arms down and have a gentle grip on the strap. We'll do just a few more. Bend and stretch. And the next time that you're reaching up, bring both ends of the strap into, well, I'm using my right side here, into your right hand or whichever leg you have extended up. So same hand and same leg. Bring your other hand to your other hip, just as a reminder to keep both hips grounded. And then begin to open your leg out to the side. Now you can bend your knee if you like. You can keep your legs straight and just go to where it feels like a comfortable stretch. As soon as this hip starts to come up, come back a little bit, press that hip down, and just allow the leg to come out and open the inner thighs. Inhale and draw the leg up to center. We'll switch hands now, and we're going to bring the leg just past the midline. So both hips are still staying down. We're just getting a stretch in the outer hip, maybe the outer thigh. Let your knee bend wherever it needs to be so that you can come just across the midline here. Inhale back to center, split your straps into two hands and take one last stretch over your body. See if you have a little extra space after the movement. And then, if you can, holding on to both sides of the strap, see if you can bring your other foot up and in. And then release and switch sides. Now take a moment to notice if this leg is different. For you to get a straight in the leg, to be able to draw your kneecap up and engage your thighs, maybe you need to come a little lower on this side, or maybe you have a little more space and you can be a little more up towards the ceiling. Take a moment to find your comfortable working position. Inhale, press through your heel. And exhale, bend your knee, draw the knee towards your shoulder. Keep the foot up towards the ceiling or reaching out to the side wall. Inhale, press and reach. Exhale, bend, draw in. Do a few more like this, finding a little more length each time you straighten your leg. Working gently, using the straps to help you modulate the movement so that you're not straining or stretching too far. And this or the next time that you're reaching up with your legs, switch both straps to your left hand, right hand to your right hip point as a reminder to keep that hip down. And then begin to open the leg out to the side. The standing knee, right? So my right leg is down. My knee is still pointing right up towards the ceiling. I'm not dropping that knee out. I'm opening the other side and keeping both hips down on the ground. I'm able to rest my elbow on the ground. I'm pressing out through my heel and getting a stretch in the inner leg. You can keep a bent knee if that feels better here. And we'll take just one more breath. And next inhale, come up through center and switch hands. And here again, we come just past the midline. So both hips are still on the ground and I'm getting a stretch in this outer hip and the outer thigh. Breathing into sensation. And on an inhale, come back up through center, split the strap so you can hold each end and one in each hand and see if you have any more space in your extended leg, pressing your heel up either towards the ceiling or out towards the side wall. One more breath. And then we'll bend that knee, release, and move your strap to the side. Bring both feet down on the ground. If you'd like, you can draw your knees in and rock. This always helps to reset the hips and the low back. And then bring your feet down. Feet about hip distance apart, feet and knees. Bring your feet close to your body. Hands, arms down, palms down. We're going to work with some bridge, and so make sure for this that you don't have anything underneath your head. So we don't want to have any hyper extension in the neck or flexion. Pressing down into your feet, pressing down with your hands. On an inhale, lift your hips just an inch or more. I don't know if you can see. I'm just lifting just above the mat. And then I'm going to slowly drop the hips down. Inhale, press and lift. Exhale and slowly lower. Take your time lifting. Maybe you'll go a little bit higher with each breath. Or maybe you stay right where you are, just with a gentle lift. The next time that you're inhaling and lifting, pause for a breath. Exhale and soften. Inhale, press into your feet and maybe lift a little higher. And then exhale and come all the way down. Stay with that movement or the one before, or inhale and raise your arms up overhead or out to the side, goddess arms. Exhale, keep your arms where they are and lower halfway down. Inhale, press into your feet, lift the hips, and exhale, lower hips and arms. Take the next 5 or so breaths to work with any of these bridge versions, either just a small bridge, a bigger bridge with a hold, or working with arm movements, lifting and lowering. If you're working with the arm movements, I sometimes like to lift up, bring my arms up or out, and then keep the arms where they are and come all the way down. Get a nice tractioning feeling. Of course, keep it gentle. If it doesn't feel good, then please change it. Lift the hips back up and slowly lower the hips. Next time we touch down, pause right here, and then walk your feet out a little wider and begin to gently move your knees from side to side. You can stay with this movement, or if it would feel good, bring your arms out at shoulder height, maybe extended or maybe in goddess arms. And the next time that your knees drop to the left, let them stay, maybe turning your head in the opposite direction. Inhale through center and exhale to the other side. Gentle twist. Inhale through center. Stay with this, or if there's another twist that you like to work with, then move into that. Either twisting and holding or moving side to side. And when you Twist it equally to each side. Come back through center. We'll do one more sequence here on our backs. So bring your right ankle above your left knee. So the ankle is resting on your thigh. Make sure that your foot can move. You will even circle at the ankle. And then pause here. Maybe a gentle hand on your thigh or knee, giving the gentlest of presses, if that is helpful to you. Stay right here, or if it would feel good to draw your knee up, maybe you can reach through the space and grasp your thigh or shin, or maybe hold your foot and knee, coming into a figure 4 stretch. Nothing should feel painful. If there's some kind of intensity, that you have to modulate yourself by knowing how much. We don't ever want to push into and past our edge. So working, if you find your edge, back away from it just a little bit, and that's a good working place. And when you're ready, release. Bring both feet down. Walk your feet out wide and windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And come back to your starting position, feet and knees hip distance apart. We'll bring the left, pardon me, ankle above the right knee onto the right thigh, circling your foot in both directions. Bringing a hand to your thigh or knee and maybe gently creating a little bit of traction or press here to intensify the stretch. Stay right here, or try drawing your knee towards you, maybe reaching through and grasping thigh or shin, or holding knee and foot. Whatever feels best in your body, where you can let go and stretch. One more breath wherever you are. And then gently release. And last time, walk your feet out wide and shift knees from side to side. And when the knees drop to the left, roll onto your left side and press into your hands to make your way up to sitting. We'll come into our bound angle pose, so soles of feet together, knees apart. If you notice when you come to this position that you're rolling back on your tailbone, that's a good indicator that you need to sit up a little bit higher. So maybe you'll take, I have this bit of mat that I sometimes will use, but you can take a folded blanket or a small cushion and either sit on the edge, or sometimes I like to just walk it underneath to give me just a little bit more support so that I can sit up nice and tall. So soles of feet are together, knees apart. If this is intense already, you might take blocks or a cushion and bring it underneath your knees, or walk your feet a little bit further away, but enjoying the sensation of stretch in the legs, in the inner thighs, maybe you'll feel it in your hips. Bring your hands to your knees, shins, or ankles, and use this pull to elongate your spine on an inhale. So pulling back, getting nice and tall, reaching up through the crown of the head. Exhale, soften, and let the knees drop a little bit more. Each inhale, find length, reaching. Let your chin tuck a little bit so that it's the crown of the head that's reaching, not your chin. Exhale and soften. And One more breath like this. Inhale up and exhale, release. Using your hands underneath your knees for support, walk your feet out wide. And let your knees and toes point towards the ceiling. Some of us tend to flop out and others flop in. So we want to keep our legs aligned, which requires a little bit of effort, right? So we'll sit here. You can bring your hands behind you and press into fingertips to lengthen the spine. Or if you have a little more space, you can walk forward. And hands on your mat, pull back gently using the sticky mat to help you elongate your spine. So the drawing back helps you to lengthen. Exhale, soften, and see if you have a little more space. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, soften. 2 more breaths. And pressing into your fingertips, come all the way up. Walk your legs in a little bit closer and little tiny bounces. And then windshield wiper effect to release the effort. Now we're going to come to tabletop. If hands and knees is not a good position for you, that is fine. You can come back on to your back or go sit up in a chair. That's better, or sit on a cushion. If you are coming to hands and knees, make sure you have something underneath your knees. I, again, use this little extra bit of mat, but you can use a folded blanket or a towel or even a very flat cushion. Bring it underneath your knees. Have your blocks handy. I do not have mine handy. And again, if you don't have blocks, then you can use a thick cushion, something that's not too wobbly. You can use big fat paper towel rolls, just something to give you a little support. You could even use a chair or a low piece of furniture that isn't going to tip. But find your way to your tabletop, or if you're lying on your back, lengthen your spine on the ground, or sit up tall in a chair, or whatever your choice is for this movement. And find a long spine. Reaching the crown of the head, again, you'll be looking down towards the mat if you're on hands and knees. The crown reaches in one direction, the tailbone in the other. Let's exhale and draw the abdominals in and up to support our low backs. And then we'll move into cat and cow. You can do this lying on your back. It's a pelvic tilt, or you can do it seated. We'll exhale and tuck the pelvis, drawing the belly in and up. Release the head. Inhale and lift the tailbone. Soften and open the belly, open the chest, reach. Exhale and tuck. Press the floor away. Inhale, open and reach. And take just a few more passes with your cat and cow. Rolling through the spine. It's the pelvic movement that initiates, and then the movement rolls up the spine. Just a few more. And then find your way back to neutral. So that's neither with the pelvis anteriorly tipped or posteriorly tucked. Neutral. Inhale here, exhale, draw the belly in and up, strengthen the abdominals to lengthen the back. And then grab your blocks if you're working with them, and we'll come into a knee down lunge sequence. This is hard to do on your back, but you can work with drawing one knee in towards your chest and lengthening the other leg if that is better for you today. Otherwise, step your foot in between your blocks. Your knee is on your cushion or blanket. And begin to press your hips forward. And when your hips are pressed and you're lengthening the front of the hip, your other knee should be right over your ankle. Okay? Once you find this position, begin to rock forward and back. And again, if you're lying on your back, you can be drawing one knee in and lengthening the other leg. And the next time that you press your hips forward, stay here or walk yourself up, maybe lifting one or both arms, reaching, lifting. Make sure that your knee and foot are hip distance apart, right? So we're not on a balance beam. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend your elbows. Draw your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach once more. Exhale, and bring hands back down to your blocks or to the floor. Curl your back toes under and press back, coming into a lunge. Stay here for a breath, lengthening from heel to crown. And then slowly lower your knee and we'll switch sides. So drawing back and stepping the other foot forward in between the blocks or in between your hands on the floor. Press your hips forward. So we're lengthening here the front of the hip. And when we are in the lengthened position, the knee is over the ankle. And then begin to rock forward and back. Lengthening the front of one hip and the back of the other leg. Gentle movement. And the next time you come forward, stay here or begin to walk yourself up, hand on your knee, maybe one or both arms reach up. Reach through your fingertips. Exhale, bend your elbows and draw your shoulder blades towards each other, opening through the heart center. Inhale, reach once again, and exhale, hands to blocks. Curl your back toes under and press back into a lunge. Now, from here, we're going to step the back foot forward to meet the front, keeping your knees nice and bent, and then walk all the way up to standing. We'll move to find our mountain pose next, with your feet about hip distance apart again. We're working with alignment in this type of yoga, and that alignment helps us to, pardon me, if our bones are aligned, if our joints are aligned, then the muscles can let go a little bit, right? It's when you're leaning off to one side that everything has to grip to hold you in place. If you can be nice and stacked, your knees over your ankles, your hips over your knees, shoulders, ears, then the body can use the structure of the skeleton, the strength there, and be able to let go a little bit and use the muscles for movement rather than just stability. So we work with finding our center and then moving away from it to test and strengthen. So find your mountain pose. Feet making contact with the ground. Pretend you're at the beach again if you like that image, or your feet in the mud or in the grass, connecting to the earth. Reach down through your fingertips and up through the crown of the head. Be careful not to press your hips forward and not to stick your butt back. Be nice up and over your legs. Inhale and reach up. Hands come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more times. And again. And pause right here. Take a moment to spy a focal point or drishti on the horizon, a point that's not moving, so not something that's swaying. In class, I always have to say not a person, but if you have other people in your environment, don't look at them. Look at something fixed. That helps us to be sturdy. We're moving into a balanced sequence, so if you know you need additional support, like a wall or a piece of furniture that's sturdy, then realign yourself in that place. And take one more moment to find your mountain pose. In mountain, we are actually becoming the earth. We are embodying this structure of incredible strength and stability. No matter how the wind blows, the mountain doesn't yield. And yet, the mountain can yield to growth, to movement, trees. You know where we're headed. Begin to press down through your left foot, making the slightest shift, right? So don't pop all the way over. Stay up and over your left leg, and then release your right leg to come up. Stay right here, eyes on your focal point, and then turn out and place your foot either at the ankle, calf, or thigh. So don't press into your knee. Making connection of foot to leg, begin to draw energy and breath up from the earth. Let it come up through heart center. Maybe branches grow. Feeling all those micro adjustments that the body makes to find stability. When we test and strengthen those muscles, they give us that much more stability in our standing postures. One more breath, and then 2 feet down. Exhale, hands to heart center. Move your feet around, move your legs around if you need to. Now, when we are holding our tree pose, please feel free to touch down and come back up, whatever you need to do in order to find those moments of, it's kind of like suspended animation, right, where you are weightless. So from here, once again, we shift to the other leg, the right leg. Release the left, let it come up and out. And then find your foot position on this side. It may be different or the same. Feeling that connection of foot to leg, leg to foot. And then make sure that breath is flowing. Draw that energy up through heart center and grow branches. Lifting the heart, feeling that deep, deep stability in the lower body and maybe a little flexibility in the upper body. One more breath, buoyancy, weightlessness, and 2 feet on the ground, walk it out, and then come to stillness. Pausing here, maybe you'd like to close your eyes. Remembering that we had to learn how to balance on 2 feet at one time. And blinking eyes open, inhale and reach. Palms come together and exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to move into flying crane. So we'll inhale and make our wings, and one leg comes up like we're stepping up onto a box. Exhale, the foot comes down, hands come to heart center. Inhale, lift, and we'll fly. Exhale and inhale. Watching the pelicans fly just over the water and then dive to catch a fish. Just amazing. This or the next time that you come through center, pause, Feeling your feet on the ground, and then release and let it go. Let's see. I wanted to do one more standing posture, and it's a wide-legged forward fold. Now, excuse me, there are two options to do this. One would be to, well, actually three. I guess you could do it to the wall. You could do it to a piece of sturdy furniture like a chair, but I'm going to show it with blocks. So I'll turn sideways so that you can see my body position. We're going to take a step out and find a nice wide stance. So here, beautiful. Inhale and reach up, palms come together, exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach up, and exhale down. I'm going to move my blocks. I guess I'll do it this way. And this time we'll inhale and reach, and then exhale and begin to come forward with a long spine. That's why I was sideways, so you can see my long spine. Now, at the moment that your spine begins to round, bend your knees so you can lengthen it. Bring your hands to your support. Find that length in your spine. Maybe you can straighten your legs a little more, but the spine being long is the most important thing. Stay here or begin to bend into one knee and then the other, shifting your weight from side to side. Stretching through the inner thighs. And come back to center. Bend your knees a lot. Keep a long spine, hands to knees. And walk yourself all the way up. Walk your feet in and shake it out. And we'll do it one more time. I'm going to turn the other way. Take a nice wide stance. Inhale up, palms together, exhale, hands to heart center. Once more. Inhale up and exhale. Begin to come through a long spine. Bend your knees, hands to your blocks or to the floor, or to chair or wall. Lengthening the spine. Maybe you can press and lengthen the legs, but keep that length from tailbone to crown. Stay here or deeply bend into one leg and then the other. This is harder if you've chosen to have your legs closer together. When they're wider apart, you have somewhere to go, shifting from side to side. Finding that length in the inner thighs. Come back through center, bend your knees, and walk all the way back up. Carefully walk your legs back together. I think I saw something go by, no? Okay, good. From here, we're going to make our way back down. So if you'd like to follow along, feel free. I'm going to come through a forward fold and then step one foot back, come through a lunge, and find my way to my seat. And once again, we'll come into bound angle, not bound, yes, bound angle. Boy, one week at the beach, my words are gone. I did a lot of practice, but not a lot of talking. Rocking, rocking from side to side. Beautiful. Bring your hands behind you. Walk your feet out, knees bent, getting nice and long. You can stay right here or allow your knees to drop from side to side. Stay with this, or let the knees drop, release your arm and come all the way around. And same. Couple more times to each side. Either knees moving or releasing and taking the twist. And come back to center, hands behind. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. Now I have my hands with my fingers reaching out to either side. Come up like this. If this is not comfortable for you, that's fine. Sit up a little taller. You could even hold on to your thighs behind the knee. Going to do just a little bit of core work here. So either hands on the ground or hands on your thighs. Take a moment to lengthen. Lean back just a little bit so you're making a V. You're balancing on your tailbone. Stay here or try raising one leg. Put that leg down and raise the other leg. Now it's important here that you're not rounding, right? You have to lengthen through the spine, right? Not this, here. So stay with raising one leg or try raising both. Stay here for a breath. And then bring your feet down, stretch them out, and let it go. I need to find ways to bring a little more core into our practice. So a little bit at a time. And from here, go ahead and roll down onto your back. You can bring pillows under your knees, a pillow under your head, whatever's going to make you comfortable as we move into our meditation and then Shavasana. Taking your time to find your way. And once you arrive, allow yourself to settle, letting go of all the effort of the practice. With each exhale, feel the length of your spine connecting with the earth beneath you. Maybe your legs are extended, maybe your knees are bent. Feel the weight of the legs. Feel the weight of the hips. The length of the spine up to the shoulders. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Let your arms be heavy. Maybe open palms up or palms down, or bend your elbows and rest your hands on your abdomen. Let go through your neck and let your head be heavy and supported by the cushions or whatever you have beneath you. Begin to breathe with this rhythm of the waves. Now, this doesn't work for everyone. Not everyone likes waves, but if you do, imagine your inhale is the wave coming up and cresting. And your exhale, the wave breaks and slides back out to the horizon. Inhale, feel the gentleness of the water come up and over you. As you exhale, send it down and out. Breathing with the waves. A gathering and a letting go. drawing up and in, releasing down and out. Stay with wave breath. Stay with this breathing pattern until you're ready to release and let go into rest. Releasing the muscles of your face, your eyes and mouth, your jaw. Releasing your neck and shoulders, chest and arms. Opening the heart. Softening the belly to receive the fullness of breath. Even the low abdomen softens and expands. Let go through your hips and thighs. Legs are heavy. Spread your toes wide and then relax through your feet. Rest here for a few minutes. Begin to wake up to wake up to and see your connection to all things. Take your time in the ways that you honor all of life. Take your time in the ways that you honor all of creation. Take your time in the ways that you honor your own vessel, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. Move slowly, deliberately, steadily, with your growth, with your words, with your actions, with your relationships. Move slowly, deliberately, and steadily. When you do this, when you take your time and give yourself the gift of real space, you are able to connect deeper into the well of ancient wisdom that exists both within and all around you. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. When you feel ready, roll to one side and pause. And then press into your hands to slowly make your way back up to sitting, allowing your attention to stay deeply inward for just another moment or two. We'll seal our practice with one chant of Om for the community we create when we practice together. If you'd like to join, bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale together. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me and with each other.